Alrighty, hello and welcome to Friday. If you are watching this live or just after this aired or happen to be watching it on a Friday, a couple weeks in the future. Continuing with this massive, explosive, exciting list, and I think with the new edition tonight, Terror of the Peaks, that certainly feels like it synergizes perfectly with what everything dinosaurs want to do. Certainly looks like a dinosaur, I must say. Unfortunately, it's not. If it was a dinosaur, I would certainly have been using Terror of the Peaks more often. It is massive, explosive. I had a match against Mono Green during my lunch break today. And this thing, it did the trick. They had some fighting removal, of course, so they destroyed my first copy of Terror of the Peaks. I cast a second copy. After that, Regisaur Alpha, 7 damage to their face. Then I played Ghalta afterwards. 2 for 12 damage to the face. Killed him. Dead. Didn't have to worry about attacking through. It wouldn't have made sense to do so whatsoever, but they still didn't have really enough to get the job done. We both had somewhat big creatures. Whoever attacks into the other person, chances are they would lose. So now I can just sit back, wall up, doesn't matter, I'll just directly damage them and get the job done. So I think Terror of the Peaks in the mono green matchup actually is going to be very satisfying indeed. Of course, it's 5 power, synergizing with Gwenna here. Maybe we have Marauding Raptor out, reducing Terror of the Peaks to 4. Gwenna taps for 2, boom. Untaps. Technically, Terror of the Peaks cost just 2. Especially if we can tap Gwenna, untap her, tap her again with Kiora. Terror of the Peaks, free, basically. And, of course, we draw a card with this. That's going to be super satisfying. Man, I just wish it was a dino. Other than that, I did make some tweaks that you guys suggested just before starting here. Actually, I trimmed 1 copy of Ghalta, and I actually did trim Renata Caller of the Hunt, I believe it is. I haven't used her much, but just something else that her power is equal to your devotion to green. So I'm figuring if we have 5 devotion, you know, that's going to be a creature with 5 power, triggering Gwenna, untapping, and with Renata, each creature we control enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter. So just increasing power, I was figuring would be nice. But I think there's enough creatures as is. I could trim a copy of the Queen, although I still like the full 4 copies. I don't know if I feel comfortable going down to 2, even though she's legendary. There can be a lot of pluses having multiple copies backups of this. Certainly I feel she's going to be a pretty big target for the opponent's removal. Oftentimes unconditional removal, basically. Yes, I know, Heaven. Think about it. Think about it, Heaven. This makes sense. Boom. The 5 power. Maybe it costs 2, maybe it costs 3 with Gwenna. Even still, if they use removal, they're taking 3. Of course, 2 mana to have the opponent lose 3 life, it's not the best. Of course, it's pretty good if this thing costs nothing. And we drew a card. Quite nice indeed. And I didn't tweak it enough. Ran out of time, but I was looking, refining Quartzwood Crasher. Where to go? Okay. Sometimes this makes a big token, right? Boom. We do 6 trample damage. Probably at this point the game is over, but this might just finish them off. We do 6, 9, whatever. That token, when it enters, however big it is, if we have Terror of the Peaks, boom. We're going to be dealing also that much damage. That does sound pretty devastating, I must say. Maybe it's enough to do the job. Perhaps if they had 1 more turn to live, it would come back around. They have a sweeper. Kill the opponent as fast as possible. Don't give them a chance whatsoever. Maybe they top deck that sweeper, of course. Never want to give them more turns. Oh, guess I'm a little bit tired. More turns than is necessary. I'm just excited to have this. But tonight's inspiration, the thumbnail there, Rock Their Worlds, Weathered Runestone. It's a stone, it's a rock, whatever you want to call it. To help against mono green. 2 non-land permanents in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. So it's shutting down more things than Grafdigger's Cage. I think Weathered Runestone is almost strictly better than Grafdigger's Cage for this kind of thing. It does cost one more, but it's stopping more things. I've said this in the past. If you're looking for something that can bring the pain to graveyard strategies, just go with this thing. It's an uncommon, where Grafdigger's Cage is a rare. This makes sense for everybody. If you've never seen it before, well, spend 3, maybe 4 uncommon wildcards. At least 3, I think, because it can be so impactful. 2 might do the trick, but against the decks we want this in for, we want to see it ASAP, for sure. Definitely. Anger of the Gods, that's still in. JDX, how's it going? I think you're going to like tonight. We're bringing the pain to graveyard things. I know you love seeing people cheat out stuff from the graveyard, big creatures, play spells for free from the graveyard. You think that's fair magic, exactly how Richard Garfield intended the game to be played. But even though you love that sort of stuff, Weathered Runestone is going to stop it tonight in fantastic fashion. That's probably one of your favorite things about playing this game, I must say. Most people love seeing things cheated out. Wow, stunning, amazing. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Anger of the Gods, sweepers coming in. 3 of those plus Brotherhood's End. Again, for a total of 4. I still say I got 133,000 gold. Just open up a couple more Brotherhood's. Brothers War, Brotherhood's End. I get those mixed up. Bunch of brothers. Yeah. All this time, yeah, I know. It's a sad day. I know. It's shedding tears. Sad Dino time. Yeah, you said it. What can you do? You think you know a person. Yeah, sweepers, always good, always good. Enchantment, hate, 2 back to natures, plus Besage You. Then we're starting off with 1. So 4 ways to deal with some of those problematic fires of invention, nasty, cheating out stuff for free decks. Unlicensed Hearse, Graveyard Hate, Bouncer's Beatdown. I switched that for Thrash and Threat. Pretty good suggestion. Most of the targets, the main big targets that I'd want to kill at instant speed are black. Greasefang, Shieldred. So I think probably it does make sense to use Bouncer's Beatdown instead of that card. 1 green, take those things out. Very satisfying indeed. A single copy of Karn Silex. Use this a little bit in the past. Gets us out of a sticky situation. Takes out lots of cheap stuff. Might be the ticket. Maybe increase this to 2 copies, because it can be so devastating. We got a lot of things above a mana value of 3, possibly 4. Quite a few things at 5, so we still probably should be left with a decent amount of bodies when we cast this. I say without further ado, you know what it's all about. Let's jump into things and see if we face Dimir Control quite a few times in a row. Dropped a bin pop there. I think I still might as well slap a copy in, at least. Could be good against some stuff. Yeah, Brotherhood's End. That does make... Actually, that's a good point. Although, I can pop Karn Silex with Kiora. Play it, comes into play, tapped Kiora, untaps it, boom, done. Pop it for 2, something like that. Yeah, the 5 cost sweeper, scary stuff, but that's the hand I'm wanting to keep. Certainly looks Rakdos to start, maybe not so good. Thoughtseize. Ooh, they're getting rid of either Gwenna or Kiora, unfortunately. It doesn't get much more classic than a start like that. Thoughtseize to start the night, maybe Thoughtseize to end the night. Hard to say. I think there's a pretty good chance of that happening. Ooh, and Croxa as well. This is going a wee bit downhill, I must say. I'll get rid of Wayward Swordtooth. Probably don't have a whole lot of lands to elevate Wayward's potential of playing extra a turn. So if we can get shifting, that would be quite nice indeed. Cross our fingers they don't have removal for Gwenna, but they did go first. Painful things might be about to happen. But I think it does feel good. Increasing the lands to 22. Maybe at some point to 23, 24. Add in some utility. Yeah. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do in these situations. Let's see a land. Let's do it. No. That's what happens. Go another turn at least. Hopefully draw that fourth land. Ghalta's good enough. Have more than 2 copies, of course. You never know. You have 4 copies. There could be a good chance you don't see any. But, well, I know what I want to discard, that's for sure. Well, that thing's going to die quite easily. Definitely. No. Sometimes you just lose. Bouncer's beatdown, though, of course, against this deck. Unlicensed Hearse, interesting. We got to look at Misery's Shadow. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. So we may have a little bit less things to exile from the graveyard. Of course, the opponent would have quite a few things, and getting rid of Croxa. Would be good. Algorithm, hashtag conspiracy. Not from me. There's variants. Everything's going to happen. You could have the best, most optimal deck, the most optimal land count based on math and past showings of the deck. And you still will have situations like that where you think, what the heck is going on? I'm cutting Huntmaster. I could see Anger of the Gods, Rakdos, mid-range, Misery Shadow. It would be nice to take that thing out. And of course Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. And Bone Crusher Giant. And Brotherhood's End actually would be quite nice. Taking out their treasure tokens, their blood tokens, that sort of thing. 22 at the moment. Maybe Weathered Runestone. Nah, I don't think I need it. Just unlucky. Oh, love it, love it. That looks stunning, I must say. We'll go with Sheltered Thicket to start. It always comes into play tap, so just in case we need that third land on turn 3. Okay, good stuff. They didn't start off with that turn 1 Thoughtseize. Even if Marauding Raptor goes down, we still get to go Gwenna. Then if she sticks around, I mean, they probably are just dead. You know what? Beside you. We want to keep playing lands, that's for sure. No, okay, nothing. Nothing for 1 at instant speed that would take out Marauding. If Gwenna survives, we got him. If both things survive, it's going to be painful. Oh, good luck. You're going to want to get rid of everything, but they can't. I don't imagine they'll have 3 Thoughtseizes. It's got to be Terror of the Peaks. Not Terror of the Peaks. What the heck? Well, we're going to be popping off, that's for sure. Shatter Skull. Oh, nope, that's not the land part. The land half. Pay that 3 life. Let's get Kiora. Oh, they're going down, that's for sure. Boom. Tear the Peaks for free. Love it. Get a nice bit of damage in with her. Cut down. I was thinking cut down JDX, yes. Extinction event. Painful-ish. We still have Marauding, so all is not lost. Keruga. Draw a card. Yeah. Draw 2 cards, I should say. My goodness. Certainly seems like I have enough lands at this point. I'll untap 1 and cycle this way. Hopefully get something. Another land. Well, luck. Literal luck right there. Luck is not on our side. 22 lands. Okay, well, we'll keep cycling Sheltered Thickets away. That's why I like 4 Sheltered Thickets. Bouncer's Beatdown is something. Let's just keep cycling, though. Oh, Ghalta. Would have been nice to have that. I'm going to say Bouncer's Beatdown just in case they play Shieldred. I'll wait and see what they do. Hey, no, yeah. Ugh. Well, they're getting rid of Ghalta, absolutely. A lot of it is luck, you got to say. You know, you have a low land count, you still draw a lot. Variance, it happens. You play enough, you're going to see a lot of wacky things, but not sure why they did that. Good stuff. Love it. I could trade with the Graveyard Glutton. I think I probably should save Kiora. I want draw as much as possible. We certainly have enough lands. We may not ever really have to use Kiora's ability to untap things. So we should actually be quite safe. Don't exactly need Marauding at this point. Some more big creatures would be good, I must say. Oh, get him. Certainly one Marauding we'll use to stop this Graveyard Trespasser, hopefully saving Kiora. I should have known. That's why they played their Shieldred the other turn. And we had to get her away, hopefully drawing that second copy of Bouncer's Beatdown, maybe increase Bouncer's Beatdown to 3, possibly even 4. Literally, you said it. Arena Shuffler doing its Shuffler things. Draw Marauding. The very next turn, draw another Marauding. You just never know what's going to happen. And again, I gotta say, that's the fantastic thing. Whether it's good or not, certainly isn't good in this particular case. But what can you do? See what they do with Keruga. Shieldred would have to block it. Graveyard Trespasser. Well, we'll see. We'll see. It would be nice to deal 5. At least they don't have a whole lot. They're completely out. Swing with all. I was thinking about that. The Trespasser would have traded with 1. Shieldred would have traded with another Marauding. Would have still taken them down somewhat. Would have been pretty painful losing both Maraudings, only taking out that Graveyard Trespasser. This way I get to preserve Kiora. Kiora, oh. Well, let's just keep going, I guess. Nah, it's probably over at this point. I was thinking of swinging all, especially with Marauding Raptors both being at 4. Well, everything would have blocked, yeah. Would have been painful. Maybe next turn we draw land. It probably doesn't matter at this point. This fatal push, nuts. You know what that calls for. I'm just interested to see if we draw another land next turn. My goodness. Kiora would kill us whenever we play a big thing anyways. Unless we get a bouncer's beat down. Yeah. Well, we did get something. Nylea Keen-Eyed. Might have been nice to have a little bit sooner. Land Tribal, yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Droll Disco, how's it going? How's it going? Oh, definitely the longer it goes, better for them. But after that matchup and yesterday, I was thinking maybe Bouncer's Beatdown really would be better. More than 2 copies in the sideboard. Again, especially because it gets the Greasefang matchup, it gets the Mono Black or Rakdos matchup, getting rid of Shieldred ASAP. Instant speed on their turn, always lovely. I'm thinking it could be good enough to really shore up and give me a chance against some of my more painful matchups, I must say. Yeah, maybe I should just change it to Land Tribal. Well, I'm going to keep this. We got 2 to start. Plaza of Heroes, going to be nice, tapping for at least a source of green. Gwenna is a legendary creature. Plaza of Heroes tapping for 1 mana of any color among to cast a legendary spell. And then after we have Gwenna, Plaza of Heroes will tap for a green. Pretty nice. Well, we got Boros Heroic. Boros Heroic going first probably means dead. Dead, I must say. Nuts. Well, I'll try for the most explosive thing possible, even though it's going to be an uphill battle when they go the turn 2 Luminator Virtuoso with Reckless Rage. Not a pretty sight. Not Reckless Rage. Oh, I saw them looking at Huntmaster. When they do that, I usually assume it's Reckless Rage with this deck. Oh, yeah, doing the setup. Well, we can't block. Well, we still get to go Marauding plus Gwenna. If we somehow survive, it will, of course, be quite good. I'm attacking with Marauding because I am not blocking. I never would block with that card. I wouldn't block with anything. So if that's the case, might as well deal 2 damage. Get a little bit farther ahead. If I was a little bit lower, maybe I would have had to hold Marauding or Gwenna back, of course. Just gotta hope everybody survives. They could easily kill us this turn. Well, that will do it. Yeah, okay. Well, that back-to-back invigorated rampage, there's really nothing you can do with that. Anger of the Gods, yes please. Karn Silex, definitely Karn Silex. Boros Heroic, cheap creatures, fairly cheap creatures. I think the costliest ones are 2. They could have Feathered the Redeemed, of course, for 3, but Karn Silex, chances are we have to pay a pretty low cost for X, I would imagine. Other than that, we just hope to go fast. I'm thinking Weathered Runestone actually might be kind of good. They have a decent bit of stuff that has a flashback cost. Maybe not enough, but there is some, I must say. That can be backbreaking as well. I'll leave it out. it might be kind of deadly for sure. Anger of the Gods could be good. Some of their stuff is temporary. There could be a decent chance that they're sitting pretty low, although it's all but guaranteed they're going to have protection to save their things anyways. Sometimes all they need is a single Illuminator Virtuoso. That was, chances are, sitting at 10, 11 power, and it had double strike, so certainly lethal right there. You know what? I'm going to cut Anger. Just because I see their protection too often, unfortunately. Either way, it's a rough go, that's for sure. Something at instant speed, though, a sweeper at instant speed. Flame sweep, specifically, 2 damage. Get enough mana for it early enough. And when you're playing first, that can really catch them off guard. Certainly, though. We see 3, we see Karn Silex. That's a keep in my books. And Kiora as well. Oh, favored hoplite. Hopefully we're taking that thing out. Possibly could have held off on Beseju. Oh, well, nuts. Karn Silex it is. We're going to bring the pain. If they can't take this out, bad things are about to happen. Hopefully they don't have anything that destroys artifacts. I don't imagine it is. Mostly just stuff that buffs their things. What are they doing? That made 0 sense. Well, okay. Everything is dead. Did they have any idea what that card was? I think they goofed up right there, I must say. Worked out in our favor. Almost makes me want to bring in more copies of that. Whew. Fantastic. Of course, maybe they had a bunch of creatures again. It didn't really matter. Seems to be the case. Still, it was nice to take out a bunch of stuff. I'm going to go with Marauding. We'll untap a land, be able to go with Shifting, draw a card, maybe draw a ton of cards next turn when we play Keruga. Going to have a lot of gas, that's for sure. Beautiful. Possibly could have attacked with Shifting. I want to take out Monastery Swiftspear if possible. I'll use Shifting maybe to do so. That might be a little bit too big, depending what they barf on that. Dead. Oh, we got him. We got him. Good stuff. Well, I know what I'm keeping in. Just a hunch. Oh. That was good. Maybe they thought they didn't have much chance because they messed up with the Karn Silex there. You can see we would have been dead guaranteed if that was not the case. Anger of the Gods seems like it might have done the trick. They didn't have any protection spells at instant speed, and even if they did, usually it's for a specific color. Karn Silex being an artifact, that stuff is useless. That was a nice turn of events. Alright. Hopefully the trend continues. Hopefully we don't see some more games that are land tribal. Just drawing a bunch after a bunch. You just never know, though. I still have a good time, no matter what it is, and listening to your guys' suggestions. Hopefully working them in, of course. If it's quite a bit different, maybe featuring it over a night. Boat shorts. In Canada here, it is not boat weather. It is winter. It is cold most of the time. Slightly above freezing at the moment. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. Folks, we got 3 lands. We got Marauding, 2 Maraudings, plus Gwenna. Thoughtseize the continuation. Oh, we've got potentially mono black zombies, Orzhov or Demir or Esper. Oh man, this is nasty. Oh, you gotta be. The algorithm is just all over the place tonight. They're getting 3 of their 4 Champion of the Perished by turn 2. We are dead. I can almost say we're dead. Those things, yeah. They got them exactly when they needed them, that's for sure. Which Karn Silex is going to be quite devastating against this opponent. Big time. Now I could go the other Marauding. I'm going to wait. Wait to power up the one we have out. Ghalta will be 2 and free. Although Terror of the Peaks should be the thing we go next turn. Terror of the Peaks, I would be able to play Ghalta. I mean, we're dead, actually. Yeah, no, we're dead. Well, if we were maybe a turn sooner, a little bit faster, if they hadn't gotten lucky with all those Champion of the Perished, would have been good. But certainly, if we can get an early sweeper before things get big, usually it's just these. If it's a later Champion of the Perished, that thing is not so good. But other things probably are sitting somewhat nicely in range of these things. I will cut Huntmaster though. It does die to our sweepers and likely fatal pushes. They have some removal, I would imagine. It's not just strictly zombies. I'd be surprised if that was the case though. Quartzwood? Yeah, I guess I'll trim that. Yeah, you can see how if we had tapped out, cast Terror of the Peaks, Gwenna would have untapped, we would have had a total of 10 reduction. Play Ghalta for free. Again, Gwenna tapping herself for 2 green. Play Ghalta, she untaps 12 damage right to the face. Certainly would have been absolutely stunning for them. Shelter Thicket to start for sure. Shadow Skull Smashing might be pretty handy, I must say. Well, at least it's not a turn 1 Champion of the Perished. So we are off to a pretty good start. I think if it is mostly zombies, there's a pretty good chance Gwenna is going to survive. Even if Marauding goes down, we've got another land coming up. We still get to play her. There's that removal. Cut down, fatal push, fatal push. Like I said. Alright, another Secluded Courtyard. We have at least that one source of green for Gwenna. Stomping Ground, I would have to take 2 or Shadow Skull Smashing. Let's not take damage if we don't absolutely have to. Next turn we get Regisaur Alpha. That's going to be pretty good for aggression. Sweeper at some point. Gwenna, hopefully, eventually, she'll be sitting quite nicely. Yeah, I'll save Shadow Skull. Eventually we'll get Gwenna to 4 toughness. She's going to survive that sweeper. That hopefully is coming down ASAP before things get too out of control. Just keep up the pressure. Even if they take a Regisaur Alpha, that's still good. We got the second copy. I think they might gun for Gwenna. Very nice to have a backup. Tainted Adversary. Ooh. Interesting. I might want to take that thing out. Of course, if I get a sweeper, I might just use it. Just to get rid of them. But I'll wait. See if we can get Gwenna to get a counter, get to 4 toughness to survive it. Wow, geez. Tonight is wacky, to say the least. Crazy. You know what? I'm going to take that ping. Nah. Let's just go with Regisaur. I'll play that other Shatter Skull. Imagine both tainted adversaries would block the Regisaur Alphas. We'll attack with the tokens, see what they do about that. See if we take out those tainted adversaries. Interesting. I think the Shuffler might be on strike. It's hard to say. I don't really mind it. I love playing dinos. I get to play dinos. Get to have a good time chatting with you guys, and you get to see sometimes some wacky stuff. You never know what you're going to see. There's no hiding live, that's for sure. And we certainly need that sweeper. Now with the Death Baron, all their stuff has Death Touch. Just clearing them out would be good. We got 4 in total. I think there's a good chance we see it. I'm certainly crossing my fingers and crossing my claws, I must say. Sweeper, you can do it. I mean, it's not a sweeper, but Kiora to draw cards. We'll play this other copy of Regisaur Alpha. Certainly. Gotta tap her. Boom. Untap. Lovely stuff. We have quite a few bodies. We'll probably be blocking some of their stuff, stopping the nastiness. Not going to attack with his tokens, especially since the tainted adversaries are sitting at 4 toughness, unfortunately. And even if they play another Death Baron, we still would take everything out, because Death Baron doesn't give itself that boost in power. So another one, both Death Barons still would be sitting at 3 toughness, and after we take them out, everything else would fall afterwards. So yeah, we're pretty much just waiting, stalling for something. That sweeper. Well, I should have another turn or two. Especially Kiora is going to help us. Oh, there we go. Oh, almost tapped. Didn't tap Gwenna before playing Shifting here. This might pop us off. We draw a Ghalta. Something. Anything. Sweeper. I mean, it's not a sweeper, but, well, let's see what happens. More lands, my goodness. Well. How many bodies do they have? I know math is for blockers, but I'm still going to do a little math right here. We'll see how things are looking. 4. 9 bodies. They have 8. No, it does make sense. If we had maybe the Regisaur Alphas with Trample, we probably could get through enough. Yeah. We're going to certainly draw a lot of cards with the Crypt Breaker there, unfortunately. Yikes. Scary stuff, I must say. Where's that sweeper? Shifting possibly could have gotten Trample. Certainly all the Regisaurs, well, would have been blocked by Tainted, anything else. If they didn't all have Death Touch, I may have swung there. I imagine they might take out Kiora, or they might just swing with everything, which wouldn't be quite enough, especially we would block with some of those tokens. Hopefully they feel a little bit good. Testing the water, swinging with a couple bodies. Feed the swarm, huh? I mean, I guess if that's what you want to do. I mean, they are at 7. They destroy a creature without taking a loss of life. So I guess that is pretty good. They probably don't want to go much lower than 7 right now. Maybe they have more removal. If they do attack with some stuff, I'll block with a bunch of the tokens, since those tokens would die to the sweeper for 3 damage. So it could be very nice if they attack us or Kiora. Of course, we'll try and preserve her. That might be, again, the ticket that draws us the sweeper we're desperately looking for. They're really thinking about a lot of stuff. Oh, the Fatal Push, okay, that makes sense to get rid of a token. Now they're going to attack us. Things. Something. Maybe they think we have a protection. Something we can do with this 2 mana we've got. Oh, the Field of Ruin. That doesn't really ruin our chances. We do have a decent amount of basics. Not a crazy amount because there's no Topiary Stomper and no Thunderherd Migration, so it felt comfortable trimming the basic lands down to a total of 3. Again, just in case there's a deck that is running land destruction and we want some basics to search for. It would be a very sad day if... Ooh, oh, well. The turntables, however you say it, maybe things are changing for us. Another Marauding? Yeah, I can work with that. Hello, top deck, Drew. Yes, you said it. Is it enough? Math. Math is hard, but that seems like enough. Gotta be enough with Ghalta, yeah. Crypt Breaker is tapped. Let's go, all out. Boom. Sneaky Trample from Shifting, perhaps. Gwenna. Being nice, sitting at a 4-5 now. I say we do it. Math is for blockers. This is a ton of creatures. Oh, okay. One thing, blocking, shifting. Good. We'll get a little bit of extra damage through there. Death Baron doesn't make a whole lot of sense. They have to block a lot of things. Ghalta right now is getting through 9, so they still got to use more on her. Do they know how trample works? Oh, they're just realizing they don't want to goof up. Oh well, no, what is going on? Ah, okay, they're getting wise. Kind of interesting seeing them go through all this. Yeah, let's go. You said it. It is pretty fun. We've attacked. We've done our. Yeah, good game. Good game is right. Sure, why not? I'm just going to give trample to shifting because I can. Let's drive it home. Let's go. That is why Ghalta is so fantastic. Boom, boom, boom. Look at that. Lovely stuff. Overkill. I felt like doing overkill, I must say. But I probably should have brought in Bouncer's Beatdown. That was oversight on my part. Certainly it's going to be nice taking out anything for a single green. This matchup, of course, is not common whatsoever, but it is nice facing another tribal. Bouncers beat down to take out the Death Baron. There are other lords, but the Death Baron really was hampering our aggression with everything Death Touch. No matter how big that zombie was that blocked Regisaur Alpha, we still would have lost it. If they didn't have Death Baron, certainly I think we would have won quite a bit sooner. Still want to keep in Karn Salix. Again, zombies. That would be devastating. Great hand. Yeah, be great to have more card draw. Nylea. Also kind of nice. Something indestructible. We don't have to worry about death touch creatures. Dig a little bit. Let's see. Terror of the Peaks, if we're staring down a massive wall, of course, playing a bunch of stuff, Terror of the Peaks would help us just shoot them again. Face damage. Boom. Lovely stuff. What to trim? You know what? I'm going to go with Bouncer's Beatdown. Those sweepers, it's probably enough. We still got it done, even though it took a little bit longer. Staring down that Death Baron. I thought death was certain for us, but we persevered, stayed positive. Not so positive with this opening hand. We don't have 2 sources of red. Maybe if I did have 2 sources of red, I'd kind of hope for a sweeper. It is kind of nice, maybe, being on the draw. There's a good chance we'll draw something for 2, something for 3. I'll keep it. I'll keep it. Risky. Oh, they got the turn 1 champion. Hope it's not turn 2 more champions. Oh, phew. My goodness, it's going to be hard to top that game 1 where they played 3 in total by turn 2. Very nasty stuff, and we are eventually getting to 5 mana. Maybe it's going to be a little bit too slow. We have 2 sources of red now for, well, anger or something. We have to see it next turn, otherwise Champion of the Perished. It's going to get too big. Wayward Swordtooth again. Wayward does, of course, synergize with an increased land count. Still, I don't think 22 is enough, but for the most part, I'm using Wayward Swordtooth because I have lots of creatures. There's a good chance to get to 10 permanents to turn Wayward on. Also, the 5 power, well, synergizes with Gwenna, and cost reduction can mean we ramp that way. Nuts. Well, Regisaur it is. At the very least, I think we should be able to take out Champion of the Perished. Hold back that token, just in case they were wanting to be aggressive. I wish, Drew. Yes, absolutely. I think we're going to be spoiled when Lost Caverns of Ixalan releases in about a year's time, since they weren't doing some crazy card art stuff back when Ixalan and Rivals of Ixalan was first released. Now that they've started doing all kinds of different products, we're going to have a lot of fantastic dinosaur stuff coming up. Very, very exciting. Oh, I'm beyond excited, Drew, and anybody else, for the reprint of Cavern of Souls. This deck was soulless. We hoped for a sweeper. We didn't see it. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you just lose. Doesn't matter how bad or good the deck was built. But yeah. The Cavern of Souls reprint that is coming is going to really help out greatly. Help out any tribals. Control decks with counter spells are going to be shedding many tears, I must say. It's going to be very nice against Mono Blue Spirits or Azorius Spirits. I think by that point in Explorer, they'll have some of their blue-white spirits that they use in the Pioneer format, probably by that point. I would imagine with the Explorer anthologies that are coming out. I mean, technically we can make this work. We got Sheltered plus Shatterskull. Of course, taking 3, a little bit painful, but I'm going to risk it. Gonna be tough. At least seeing a third land would be good. We can go Huntmaster and Marauding, kind of do a little setup. Would need another source of green for shifting, though. We could go double Marauding next turn. They're going to do 2 damage to Huntmaster. We're seeing mono red snow, unfortunately. Huntmaster is going to die at some point. Get it out of the way, I think. I don't imagine they'll be able to deal 3. They would need 3 or more snow permanents for Frostbite. I could have Lightning Strike or something like that. Never seen Cavern of Souls. Oh, it is incredible, Drew. It's very costly, unfortunately. I think the cheapest copy of Cavern is $60 US. Something like that. It's always been expensive for good reason. Lovely. Lovely card. Has a lot of fantastic art. I would imagine we'll probably get maybe some new art with Lost Caverns of Ixalan. They might reuse some of the stuff previously. Crazy. I was thinking of splurging on the Expedition edition from Zendikar Rising, I believe it is. I splurged already on the Judge promo Zakama, unfortunately. That was my budget for nice stuff, I must say. I'd rather the Judge foil Zakama than Cavern of Souls. It was hard, though. Judge promo foil. Whatever they call it. They got it for attending the Judge convention. One of the Judges conventions, I think. Mono Red Snow Fires of Invention. Very interesting stuff. I've seen a lot of Mono Red Fires of Invention, but not quite this snow variation. Yeah, it was a little bit rough again in the land department. Of course, you see scenarios like this, you'd think, oh, you have to up it to 27, but then the very next game, you just draw all lands. There were a couple of times just a little bit ago where that's pretty much what we were drawing. You just never know. Tonight is the night of you never know. Keeps things interesting, I must say. You gotta look at the silver lining. I guess we'll take out a goblin. We were kind of Marauding Raptor locked, so that's why I felt kind of comfortable attacking with both. At least taking out one goblin, making him get one less treasure token. Although, chances are we might be done for here, of course, at this point. Don't really need Cavern of Souls, though, and Explorer at the moment. Not a whole lot of counterspell stuff going around. I mean, there is Dimir Control. Of course, that night I recently had where it was 4 Dimir Control and 1 Azorius Control for the stream that night. Wow. Would have been nice. But yeah, Mono Blue Spirits. I don't remember the last time I've faced Mono Blue Spirits, I gotta say. It's basically non-existent for me. Faced Greasefang twice last night, so it's crazy to see that thing be more common than Mono Blue Spirits. Again, Greasefang much better in best of 1, I should say. Yeah, let's pack it in. They've got a Fires of Invention, so we're all but done for at this point. Karn is a rare heaven, yes. Karn the Great Creator is pretty darn great. I think we can all say at this point. Does the trick. Turns off the Great Henge, unfortunately, with his ability. I always forget that because I don't play a whole lot of artifacts that have activated abilities. Turns off Karn's Silex. We're going to have to keep that in mind, unfortunately. But, hey, we can't have a whole lot of a worse time than that. Enchantment, hate. Mainly it would be for Fires of Invention and Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Let's do it. Let's do it. Both Besajus. We're going to see fires. There's going to be some target for this. Watch us get both Besajus to start as our only 2 lands. Would be quite painful indeed. Cut something though. Nylea. By Leah. I could see myself cutting a couple Huntmasters. Seems to have a decent amount of stuff that deals 2 damage. Certainly that Frostbite was painful. Is pretty painful. A Sweeper. Brotherhood's End to take out artifacts. Yeah, well, maybe. You know what? Let's trim Huntmaster. Bring Brotherhood's End to Anger of the Gods. Yeah, let's do that. I'll keep Karn Silex out again if they get Karn the Great Creator. Karn Silex is dead in the water, unfortunately, especially if we can't get some damage through to take it out. They might have played too many creatures by that point. It might not make sense, but I will keep that hand. Hey, technically, we're starting off with 3 lands, so that is already better than the previous game. Get excited, folks. Oh, I'm on the edge of my seat here. They've mulliganed twice as well. Wow. Good stuff. Shatterskull Smashing, though? Nah, I'll play it. It possibly could have helped us take out Karn the Great Creator because we can target a creature or a... Oh, Besaju, you're staying there. Good buddy. Definitely. Holding on to that as long as possible. Oh, maybe they were thinking we would play a Huntmaster. Well, that is not the case. Not this time. Lovely. It's nice we keep drawing lands. We're not forced to play Besaju. We can keep holding on to it. That's ideal here. And I still think I got to get myself 1 copy of this in paper. It's hard to stomach though, paying as much as Besaju is, $40, I think, at this point. It's expensive for a reason. It is good, 100%. 1 is almost strictly better than a basic forest. It's quite fantastic. Let's get that secluded. Get that shifting next turn. Hopefully the Great Henge, we just pop off after that. But I did see Bone Crusher. I saw lots of other stuff. Not going to go Bone Crusher or Anger next turn. Only taking out the Bone Crusher doesn't quite make enough sense. Looks like it's going to have to be Besaju and Regisaur. Besaju, hasty. Take out Chandra. Yes, that's what we're doing. Go time, folks. You see Chandra, you take her out. I learned my lesson one too many times, seeing them ultimate and get that thing. Even though she's down to 1, probably a low chance of getting that emblem. Whenever they cast a spell, deal 5 damage to any target. Yeah, just, they can ramp with it. They play extra cards a turn, potentially. I just like seeing that thing gone. Pretty much only play arena. Oh, kitchen table. Good stuff, good stuff. Hey, proxy. Proxy is where it's at, for sure. I still like owning the physical, actual card. Luckily, dinos, usually for the most part, are somewhat inexpensive. Wayward Swordtooth actually climbed up quite a bit. Luckily, I had bought it when it was somewhat lower. Sheltered. Great Henge. We're going to be doing some great things coming up. Hopefully they can't get rid of artifacts. Hopefully they... excuse me. Hopefully they don't play Karn the Great Creator next turn. Turning off that thing. At least we get some card draw. We get a creature with Wayward. Maybe drawing a land, which we can play because of Wayward's ability here. That would be nice. What do they have? Something that can kill something. Something that deals damage at instant speed, it seems. Well, we'll attack with Shifting. I wouldn't use Shifting to block Bone Crusher anyways. Bone Crusher is tapped, so we can take out this token. Nicely. Nice enough. See if I can hold off on Anger of the Gods, casting it after... shenanigans up their sleeve. I should have known. So they still could have taken stuff out if and when we played that Anger. Shifting would have been dropped in range of that Frostbite, unfortunately. Darn. That's not great. It's not the worst thing, though. If Bone Crusher attacks, we will take out Karn because of the hasty token from Regisaur Alpha. All is not lost. Oh, we still take out Karn. Good stuff. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yep. Karn's a goner. Ooh, I'm liking this. Wayward. Wayward and the token. So Bone Crusher would get killed. Whatever he blocks. Bone Crusher, of course, would trade with Marauding. I guess it will trade with Marauding. We got to take out Karn, though. Things might still be bad, but we'll get Gwenna. We get to use Great Henge's ability, tapping for mana, because Karn is gone now. And next turn, cross your fingers, guys. It's going to be fantastic, explosive, absolutely devastating. Oh boy. Draw 3 cards. They have nothing. Good game. They're tapped out. Dead. Ooh. Beautiful. I should have tapped Gwenna there, unfortunately, but... Smoked. Oh, this is lovely stuff. The stuff of legend. Okay. Yeah. That is what I was hoping to showcase. You guys have seen similar things like this, but just Terror of the Peaks, locking it up, closing it out, making it absolutely certain. There's no question, no doubt whatsoever. Nasty. I love it, love it. Okay, we did the trick. That combustible Gearhulk is pretty good. If you didn't read it, or, well, I didn't mouse over it too much. Target opponent may have you draw 3 cards. That's not too bad. They're tapped out. We knew we had the win. If we don't have them draw 3 cards, they mill 3, deal damage to us equal to the total mana value of those cards. That could have killed us or almost killed us. It would be have been a devastating amount of damage. I didn't need to take the risk. Maybe if they were untapped and could have played stuff after drawing, I consider it. But I'll stick with that. Alright, luckily we didn't see a Fires of Invention at some point. And we were able to take out Karn. It's still nice that we draw cards. Great Henge can stay out. Wow. Ooh. Excuse me. Didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night. Pretty soon I won't be getting much sleep when my son is born. In a few days now. Crazy. Crazy to think. I got my coffee and everything. Oh boy. Frostbite can't take out Marauding. They could have that Lightning Strike though. Something that deals 3 damage, 4 damage. Obliterating Bolt has been a pretty fantastic addition in the Brothers' War. Whatchamacallit. They haven't got Cleansing Wildfire, which is quite nice, I must say. I'm going to go with Beseju. I want extra lands. I want to be playing stuff, hoping that they don't have Frostbite for Gwenna here. Still, it will use it up. We still might be able to go Shifting Ceratops next turn. Yes, oh, thanks Drew. It's going to be good. Of course, I'll post some pictures, maybe have a little video. You guys are going to see me live, maybe in the morning, because I'm off for 2 months. So I'm going to... There's that Frostbite. Nope, I figured. Taking a risk. Gwen would have been damaged at some point and would have died. But yeah, being off for 2 months, I'll see if I can stream more often at different times, in the morning, maybe at night. Might be sleeping at night, just depending how things go. But yeah, maybe holding him in a something. Just because Arena, you can play with one hand quite easily. So I can see that happening. If it was more of an intense game, maybe Call of Duty, a shooter, certainly that wouldn't work. Not so well. But this game lends itself to babies, I think. Now we're drawing out that removal. At least Marauding is still sticking around. Keeping the hope of Tear of the Peaks next turn alive. That's going to be good. I like this. I like... I absolutely like this. Here goes nothing. Lovely stuff. Oh boy. If we get another land next turn, they're dead. If they don't take out either of these things. Oh, this is beautiful. Regisaur Alpha plus Ghalta is lethal right to the face. Just Ghalta alone, 12 damage plus Tear of the Peaks would finish him off. Stuck on only... Oh, well, 2 red now, but yes, it is very nice to see the opponent stumbling. Oh, nothing. No. Oh. Pay that 2 life. Boom. Is this it, folks? Maybe this is. Shoot him. Get him. Straight to the face. This is why I use Tear of the Peaks. Boom. Done. Can you kill Tear? Nope. 2 for 12 damage. Haste. Maybe it wasn't needed. Maybe it's overkill. Maybe it's win more. I don't consider it win more. I consider you win or you lose. Some very great games. Some painful ones, of course. But like I say, stay positive. Sometimes it's just variance. Doesn't matter how many lands you have. You're going to have bad games. You're going to have games where you will lose. Doesn't matter what you do. It's a fact of life with this game. Doesn't matter how long you played, how skilled you think you are. It's a fact of life. But it's a fact of life that this will never get old, I must say. Wow. The fact of Ghalta alone. Now, I know Ghalta Legendary, maybe less copies is better, but consider the fact, if Ghalta is super cheap, if we're playing her for 2, we play 1 copy, 2 for 12 damage. We play another copy, another 2 for 12 damage. Chances are that's 24 right there. That might just be lethal. We don't even need to be attacking for Ghalta. It's just a straight damage spell. And we're left behind with a creature. If that doesn't do the job, I don't know what will. But it just gets around maybe somebody that has a board established of lots of stuff, or it just doesn't make sense to attack. We use Tear of the Peaks, as always, to get around things and straight to the face, as they say. Beautiful. Hopefully that continues, but at least, you know, you see in person right now or later on the potential of that. Weathered Runestone may be not as much needed. Weathered Runestone in to help against mono green, stopping Storm the Festival from cheating out creatures. But if Tear of the Peaks just goes around everything straight to the face, we're at a staring matchup. We have a lot of dinos, they have a lot of green creatures. Whoever attacks first might lose. Well, we'll just turtle up and get them that way. I think it's a pretty fantastic alternative in that matchup, or really any matchup. Papa Emeritus. 5? 3? 5. I think that's 5. I'll keep it. We got 3 lands. Kiora. Should be good. Plus Secluded Courtyard on turn 2 if we get our 2-drop. If we don't, of course, we'll go Rockfall Vale. Mono Reg, aggro, something. We got the 3 Anger of the Gods and 1 Brotherhood's End. Yeah. Is it? This is actually my first Is it spells. Whatever you want to call it. Kiora is probably dead immediately next turn. They'll ping her for some damage. Monastery Swift Spear gets bigger. Third Path, Iconoclast. But if Kiora is dead whenever we play her, I'll just play her now. Hope she's at least at 1. Hopefully 2, so we can untap a land next turn, but we'll see. Yeah. I'm actually quite surprised this is the first time facing this new Izzet, and fantastic upgrade for the deck with this card here. Whenever they cast a non-creature spell, they make a 1/1 soldier. So it's not just instant and sorceries. This thing is pretty much strictly better than Young Pyromancer. It's pretty cool. I mean, it does cost a blue and a red. Young Pyromancer is 1 and a red, so a little easier to cast this, but in the right deck, 1 blue, that's not backbreaking whatsoever. Kind of tempted to go with Keruga instead. You know what? Let's do that. Let's draw 2 cards. That might be what we need. Interesting. We're going to have to watch out for some counter spells game 2 though. I think we should be able to catch them off guard. It would be nice to take this game from them, and then we can surprise them next game with the potential of a sweeper. Luckily they're stumbling a little bit with the land. Yeah. Karn Silex as well would be quite nice. Reckless Rage is good. Disgusting. Rampaging Ferocidon, also one of the all-time classic dinos. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, ping its controller for 1. That would certainly do the trick against this deck, even if it is public enemy number 1. But we're just dead. Yeah, we should just be dead. Yeah, we're not being that. No. But we got a very good chance coming up. Taking out Huntmaster, because that dies to a lot of their stuff and our sweepers. So it 100% makes sense to cut that. I'll still keep in Marauding, 3 toughness, and I still want the potential to have explosive turns. Karnza, again, like I mentioned. Unlicensed Hearse, there could be a lot of things to exile. This could get quite big, I must say. Let's do it. Great Henge gaining a bit of life there. Could be nice, help us stabilize slightly. Ever so slightly. 1 Ghalta. Excuse me. Alrighty, let's see a sweeper in the first hand, maybe mulligan, kind of aggressively for it. That's the keeper if I've ever seen it. We got at least 2. We got a couple things to play for 2, plus 1 copy of it. Beautiful. As long as we get that second source of red, we're going to be off to the races. Of course, I could maybe tweak the mana base a little bit. having more sources of red. Maybe cutting Secluded Courtyard now that I've gone back to Gruul colors. Consistency is a little bit easier. So yeah, that could be... Oh, excuse me. Wow. That was a good one. Hopefully I didn't wake up my daughter. She didn't have a nap today, so there's a good chance she will stay asleep. Oh, phew. Yeah, I'll go with Kiora. Potentially Kiora is going to untap Rockfall Vale. We'll get our second source of red that way. Or if we draw another land, we'll be able to go Regisaur Alpha. That's going to be nice. If they had played another creature this turn, I might have gone Brotherhood's End. If I get an Anger of the Gods next turn, definitely I would have. Yeah, let's do it. Not Brotherhood's End, I mean, but Shifting Ceratops. I think that could be a nice deterrent. They got a bunch of mana. There's a good chance Shifting is dead, but at least we're drawing a card. We're playing it. We get more mana. Beautiful. Of course, I could have attacked with Shifting. I'll wait and see. I don't think any of them would have blocked. But I imagine they'll play some creatures. Yep. Brotherhood's End next turn, guaranteed 100%. Well, that's okay. Hopefully they use that one source of blue. Not too worried. I don't believe they can interrupt Brotherhood's End. Pretty sure they can't. Oof. Alright. Alright, we bought ourselves some time. We have 2 left over for Unlicensed Hearse. We're going to start exiling all their stuff. Man, look at all that goodness. Unlicensed Hearse is going to get very big, I must say. If we can get a 5th land next turn, we'll be able to tap and untap Unlicensed Hearse, exiling 4 things. Massive. But, I'm going to sneeze again. Kleenex time. Back in 1 second. Okay. You know, I'm going to set up with Marauding Raptor. Do the thing I was saying with Unlicensed Hearse. Oh, well, I woke her up. Darn it.
The ocean surges, life thrives.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, back in a second. All right. What did I miss? That Crackling Drake doesn't seem that bad. They didn't play any instants and sorceries, so I think we still could do some good stuff. Ooh, that is tempting. It's going to be an uphill battle, though. That Crackling Drake is going to be problematic. Let's see. Regisaur Alpha. Gonna save that unlicensed hearse. Actually, maybe crew it with Regisaur Alpha. Yeah. Nah, I'm gonna use unlicensed hearse to get bigger coming up. Save Kiora for sure. I imagine somebody is going to attack it. Actually, I'm going to attack with Marauding Raptor. I don't imagine Crackling Drake would have blocked. We might still be dead. Crackling Drake could get very big, I must say. Well, depending what they do, we might be dead. I didn't want to go Anger of the Gods quite yet, losing the token and Marauding Raptor, unfortunately. Maybe they have enough damage to the face to get the job done. Well, they might. Crackling Drake. Yeah, if they have another play with fire, skewer the critics, something like that. That will do it. Back play with fire. Another Crackling Drake. Well, well, well. Yeah, that was, it's unfortunate seeing the Drake. Something I guess I could have expected. I didn't really expect it. I thought it was mostly these cheap creatures. Yeah, but he can be problematic, to say the least. Oh, I forgot to make unlicensed hearse bigger. Darn. Well, we'll draw a bunch of stuff, maybe. Get Ghalta. We do anything? That is the question. I don't think so. Don't have enough trample damage. Ghalta possibly could have got it done. Yeah, no. Nope. The Crackling Drakes do the trick. If they didn't have the Drakes, well, certainly things would have been quite a bit different, I must say. Yeah, that's too bad. Shifting Ceratops, of course, can be kind of nice with the Crackling Drake, especially if we have fighting interactions. Crackling Drake not dealing any damage to Shifting Ceratops because of that protection from blue. It's been quite some time since I've seen Crackling Drake, actually. Saw it quite a bit in Historic. I'm going to risk that. We got 2 lands. Technically. We'll go Shatter Skulls. The Hammer Pass to start. Hope for that explosiveness with Marauding Raptor plus Gwenna there. That's going to be nice. We would be able to play Regisaur Alpha with 2 lands. But having Shelter Thicket as well. Marauding Raptor's probably dead. We're facing Grixis as Marauding it survives. Wow. That is not something I expected whatsoever. Oh, we're getting spoiled here. A welcome change. I bet Gwenna's dead to their removal. I'd be surprised if it wasn't Gwenna. Gotta be Gwenna. Yeah, it's Gwenna. Big time. We do have Nylea. That is not nothing. It's not a creature. But, yeah. At least we can use her ability to dig for maybe something. And it reduces creatures, so we are able to go Regisaur Alpha coming up here. Of course, I will discard a Ghalta. Maybe they suspect we have another copy because we discarded, or there's a low chance of us getting to it. Darn. Oh, I like this. Well, certainly Regisaur it is. Absolutely. Love that aggression. They gotta do something quick, otherwise the queen's coming down next turn. They could have some sort of sweeper. Extinction Event wouldn't be so bad. I think they would have to name Odd, which would just take out Regisaur Alpha there. Either way, they gotta do something good and big and impactful. Got him. Ah, beautiful. Love it. Very nice we didn't see that turn 1 Thoughtseize, the Fatal Push. Just the fact that Marauding Raptor survived. That was quite nice, but Grixis. Lots of painful things. Discard. Returning a permanent, discarding a card, discard, discard, discard. Oh my. It's all discard all the time. Well, we're going to maybe hope to barf everything we have, and if we have nothing in hand, a lot of their stuff seems to be dead in the water. Unlicensed Hearse, I think that's where it's at. Possibly Weathered Runestone, but if they have basically nothing in the graveyard, they're never going to be cheating out Keruga anyways. Possibly Bouncer's Beatdown. I could see them maybe having Shieldred. Just seems like they have a lot of spells winning. Their win condition being Nicol Bolas the Planeswalker. Some version of Nicol Bolas, I would imagine. Which he is part black. Bouncer's Beatdown would... yeah, let's do Bouncers. Certainly don't need the sweepers. I'm going to cut Huntmaster. I think we got lucky. Certainly Huntmaster could eat some removal, unfortunately. And if we can tag Keruga before it's sacrificed, while that trigger is on the stack with Bouncers, even if we don't kill him, he's sacrificed, he goes away, but he is exiled, so we never have to worry about him. And starting off, seeing Unlicensed Hearse. That's what I want. Oh, and Sheltered Thicket to boot. Again, I'm loving Sheltered Thicket. If we have an increased land count, Sheltered really does make sense late game. Being able to get rid of it for 2, where lots of other stuff just would sit there, or you just play it. Nuts. Like I said, it's Grixis discard. Maybe they hope that discarding everything just makes the opponent rage quit, which will not happen here. We've took them down once. We can do it again. Also having Shifting Ceratops, kind of nice. We don't have to worry about Nicol Bolas doing anything to Shifting. We can fly right past Shifting as well, because that's how protection from a specific color works. Hopefully we get Shifting next turn. Whether or not it lives is another question, of course. My goodness. I'm glad we don't face this type of deck very much. I mean, we have a lot of land. 6. I'll get rid of Plaza of Heroes. We don't have a legendary creature. And Regisaur. Terror of the Peaks could be quite helpful. Interesting. Back-to-back terrors. It certainly will be a terror if those things stick around. If we get both down and play more things, that's going to be lethal right to the face. Pretty darn quick. 2 terrors, play Ghalta for 2, 24 damage. Doesn't get much nastier than that. My, oh my. Well, it's got to be 1 terror. And hope they don't have something that's going to get rid of the second copy. You gotta be kidding. It's literally discard everything. Well, their discard stuff is doing nothing for them. So hopefully they have a bunch more of that stuff in hand. It does call for the crying Dino, I must say. Ouch. I should have assumed something also painful. We do still have shifting, which is quite nice. That's some bonus of dinos having creatures with somewhat higher mana value. Does dodge some of those spells that deal with cheap creatures that are certainly quite common. Of course, having dinos at 5 or more, dodging Fatal Push, nice stuff. Well, we don't have anything, so they're paying 2 to Surveil, which is pretty good. Can they take out shifting? That's the question. Yeah, your discard stuff is nothing. Doing nothing. At least they don't have removal for shifting, it seems. They're digging for it. That's why they... Oh, folks. That's the ultimate gotcha. A deck that's focused on discarding cards. If you just play everything you draw, you have nothing in hand, that deck's doing a whole lot of nothing. It is tempting. I mean, maybe, again, they hope that the opponent is going to rage quit, seeing all their stuff just go away. All we need is one creature. Sometimes it's shifting. Maybe they had some blue removal, blue based, and they couldn't target shifting with it. But that is one of the most satisfying type of wins there, persevering through a deck like that. Sometimes they run out of gas, or sometimes their gas is nothing. They're driving a big diesel truck, and all that's available is regular unleaded gas, so they're not going anywhere. Diesel at the moment is pretty expensive. At one point there it was cheaper than gas. Crazy times, crazy world we're living in. Crazy games we've had tonight. A wide range, I must say. Nice to see. Some night coming up, I'm sure we'll have another 4 Dimir control, 4 Rakdos mid-range. Maybe a bunch of life gain, of course, just randomly. Can't keep that, unfortunately. Maybe if I was on the draw. I like to risk things. There it is. We don't have 2 untapped yet, guaranteed, but I'll send the Great Henge to the bottom. I know I only have 1 copy. No, actually, no. I'll keep it. Send to Regisaur. Great Henge could be quite nice. For sure, it's got to be sheltered. We might draw land that comes into play on Rakdos. Sacrifice. Yikes. Well, I'm sure Huntmaster would have been dead anyways if we were able to play him. Still might be our only play next turn anyways. At least they didn't get turn 1 Cauldron Familiar, and Kiora it is. Open up the potential for Regisaur Alpha next turn. At the very least, hopefully getting Shifting Ceratops down. Getting the Great Henge to 4. Even though they might have some ways to deal with artifacts. That's definitely the thing you want to target. Nuts. They got the devil. Oh, okay, well. Let me think. You know what? I'm going to pay that 2 life. Huntmaster for 2. We use Kiora to untap a land. And because of the cost reduction, we're able to go shifting for 3. Efficiently using everything and still drawing a card. Hopefully getting that Great Henge next turn. Hopefully Kiora survives. But even if she doesn't, That was still pretty good. There's the cat. Oh, our saving grace is we didn't see it right away. But, I mean, Brotherhood's End is going to be pretty devastating. Taking out the Witches Oven, their blood tokens, that sort of thing. I may just sweep them for 3 though still. Taking out the Mayhem Devil, most of their creatures, because it is Rakdos Sacrifice, everything is pretty darn weak. Certainly is nice to take out the Mayhem Devil ASAP, because things get pretty nasty. Although if they have a lot of food tokens, blood tokens, the Brotherhood's End to destroy artifacts with a mana value of 3 or less. This is pain. Nasty. Rakdos Sacrifice does its Rakdos Sacrifice things. We're not dead yet. Hopefully they don't have another Fatal Push in hand. Blood token tapping Seer Step pathway, meaning the requirement of a permanent leaving the battlefield. Okay, good. We know they don't have a Fatal Push. That is a positive. Maybe they have another Blood Tithe Harvester getting to 2. I see. They'll just kill it straight up with Mayhem Devil. Sacking the tail. Yeah, that's going to be it. No, we're not coming back from that. We had 1 cycle of turns. Painful. Weathered Runestone can help. It turns off their cat stuff, which is nice. Karn Silex, very good against this deck. Again, Brotherhood's End. I do like Unlicensed Hearse. Not really against this deck. The cat is pretty durable. Of course, they'll sacrifice a food in response if we wanted to target the cat anyways. So it's hard to deal with, for sure. Bouncers beat down to take out Mayhem Devil. I kind of like that also. I think that should be enough. Anger of the Gods can be good, but we got the Runestone. Huntmaster. Oh yes, what am I thinking? That's what you want to cut. Quartzwood. Nylea. Maybe 1 Runestone. Yeah. Stanley, how's it going? Happy Thanksgiving? Yes. I have been considering it. At some point, I tried it out quite some time ago, but you commented at the right time. I think you were my good luck charm key, because this is a very good hand. But yeah, I still think I only have 2 copies of Fable. I gotta try it at some point. There's so many fantastic suggestions from you guys. It's really hard to pick exactly. Balancing, refining a specific list, grinding with it, and doing a lot of your guys' stuff. Of course, I'll never completely move away from that. But yeah, Fable at some point. It is nice, for sure. It synergizes with my list that involves Kiora. Of course, we use Fable to copy some Dino that is, at least 4 power. We get that thing, plus we draw a card. So I think Fable certainly would, synergize quite nicely. Oh my goodness. This is actually working out for us. As long as they don't have something painful. Oh, folks, if these things stick around, we're good. They don't have a Fatal Push. They may have just drawn it this turn. Oh, Stanley, speaking of Fable. Oh, wow. Okay. This is the stuff of legend, folks, because... Watch. Actually, we'll go Plaza of Heroes. Gwenna taps for 2. Keruga for 4. We're sitting at 10 total reduction. Again, as long as we see a nightly Ghalta for free, that's a beautiful sight. Just a casual 12-12 trample haste, and then we're still left with enough for boom. Wow. Oh yes, absolutely. The hand smoothing, I've seen people say the hand smoothing, the second lore counter from it is probably one of the best. Chances are reflection of Kiki Jiki probably gets killed pretty quick. But yeah, getting rid of 2 things you don't need, getting hopefully 2 things you do, or just digging closer for something. That silver bullet. But yes, all in one spell. Absolutely lovely. Oh yeah, no, I absolutely agree, it is good. Probably the main thing, well, most decks, they don't have a creature that deals 2 damage when something enters the battlefield. That's been really the only thing that's held me off of Fable of the Mirror Breaker. If this deck didn't have Marauding Raptor, some other random thing, certainly I guarantee I would have been using it more. But just the fact that Huntmaster already is something that potentially dies to Marauding, it's still right, I would say absolutely, to have Huntmaster and Marauding, that combination. But 4 more things, 3 or 4 more things that would die to the ping. Of course, we would lose the Goblin token to Marauding, Reflection to Marauding, yeah. But I'll use it sometime eventually. Oh yeah, it does force them to have answers, 100%. Hopefully, maybe they answer our turn 2 Marauding, we can safely go Fable on turn 3, something like that. Definitely, it's worth a try at some point, I must say. Maybe open up some more packs of Neon Dynasty. Oh, it's, yeah, oof. Maybe I'll splurge. Maybe in a couple months when I have 200,000 gold, I'll open up 10 packs of something. Do a mini super pack opening. Something like that. I'm gonna risk it. Got 2 lands plus Kiora. Shifting Ceratops, nice. Terror of the Peaks. Nah, we're gonna have to send that. The most expensive thing still. Everything here has that 5 power we're looking for to synergize with Gwenna. Hopefully we see it. Oh, it is a match made in heaven. It's wearing a dinosaur. 100%. I was over the moon when they released this. I've got the Timmy sleeve, of course. It was bundled together. But I splurged on eBay. I bought the code for everything is left-handed. Something, the secret layer that included this Garuk sleeve, which I think is lovely. I didn't have to buy the secret layer to get this. It was actually only a couple bucks, which is pretty reasonable, I feel. Pretty nice we get to go Weathered Runestone. Hopefully it sticks around a bit. Hopefully we see a sweeper. Oh, it is. Maybe it's my son, you know? In a couple days. I'm going to meet him. You guys are going to meet him. Still don't know what I'll do. Maybe a video of some kind. Definitely Kiora. I think there's a good chance she's going to stick around. Of course, we don't need to untap everything. I don't see them being able to deal 7 in one turn. They don't have Mayhem Devil at least, so they can't ping her and finish her off with creatures. I hope. They are stumbling in the land department. That is a very positive thing. Ooh, keep getting those lands. 3, 2... Oh, Wayward Swordtooth. I like it. I like it indeed. A Dino onesie. I'm looking forward to that, hopefully. It's going to be good. We're going to lose Kiora next turn. But if they can't take out Weathered Runestone, we don't have to worry so much about the Cauldron Familiar, which is pretty good. they don't really have to worry about Wayward at the moment. Although with Weathered Runestone again being a permanent Kiora, pretty much everything is permanent. So it really does help get to 10 so that we can ascend and start using Wayward Swordtooth a little bit more, attacking and blocking. I really think Wayward, at least in this list, is better than Topiary, even if we're not playing extra lands a turn. Just the fact it's 5 power, we can get to 10 permanents easier. They can't attack with it, so it's not a total loss. They're going to get 2 food tokens when they sacrifice it to Witch's Oven, unfortunately. Ooh. Terror of the Peaks, though. That dodges Fatal Push. Nice having flying. Good stuff. Shifting Ceratops next turn. Start shooting them in the face. Well, never mind. I should have expected nasty grabbing stuff. Yeah. Well, sometimes there's nothing you can do, especially when they have things that steal your creatures. Of course, Claim the Firstborn in the past has been quite devastating. It's interesting to see Corvold. I guess technically we saw a source of green with that one pathway land, but yeah, still didn't get it done, unfortunately. We got it done in fantastic fashion on game 2 there, which is a pretty good positive. But I think I'll leave it there for tonight. Maybe for once I'll get a little bit more sleep. Back tomorrow night, as always. It's going to be good. Tweaking this list, perhaps, maybe taking one of your guys' suggestions. Fable of the Mirror Breaker, of course, could be on the menu. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Sometimes maybe I play it out a little bit longer than I should. If I have an out, though, of course I like to play to my out, even if it does take longer to finish the match, even if there's a low chance, I still like to push it to the limit. It does make the wins more satisfying. Of course, you guys don't get to see quite as many matches, especially if I have a slim chance against Control, Azorius especially. That's lovely stuff. Slamming down a hasty Shifting Ceratops that I top decked for exactly lethal. Very nice indeed, I must say. Yeah, it was good overall. I had a lovely time as always. Hopefully you guys have a good night, morning, evening, afternoon, whenever it is. And remember, there's always room for improvement, always room for suggestions. Try to work it in if possible. And yeah, peace.